This is Tony Chimmel, and I'd like to introduce the hosts of the Game Marks podcast, George Feis and Johnny Clash.
Welcome to the Game Marks podcast, where each and every week we take a deep dive into the good, the bad, and the awesome of wrestling video games. I'm the man they call Johnny Clash.
And I am George Feis, and today we are playing Jelly Wrestle on Steam. Is this game going to get a play it forever or a future endeavor? Also, we talk about the WWE 2K Creative, our big announcements from the week, and a surprise RetroMania announcement.
And please subscribe and leave a 5-star review for this podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and follow us on all forms of social media at GameMarksPod. And don't forget, you can get this episode early and ad-free at patreon.com/GameMarksPod, along with the show notes, Discord access, live recordings, giveaways, and more. George, what is up? There is a USB just going in and out right now, and my ear, all I hear is...
Well, that's never a good time, so deal with that. But yeah... Boy, oh boy, man, what a week it's been.
Found it.
What was that? What is that?
It's this.
Holy
crap, that's hot.
Last week, we did the video game history of the Ultimate Warrior with our old pal Swoggle. A lot of good responses from that episode. A lot of people, reaching out to us, telling us their favorite versions, which, I mean, is always my favorite part of doing these video game histories. Like, the aftermath of doing them is just hearing everyone's different opinions and why, what gears or game iterations are special to them because of, memories or anything like that. Yeah, I can't wait to do the next one. We put together a list. We're going to wait a little bit before we announce it, but the list is it's pretty comprehensive of who we could do next.
And we might go a little out there for a few of these and not go with your typical superstars that you would suggest. There are some interesting ones that may surprise you, what they've been in and all.
John had a good suggestion that I don't think I would have initially put on the list, but once he mentioned it, I was just like, I feel like we would have got there eventually, but yeah, no, that's a good one that he suggested. So maybe maybe a couple weeks.
Yeah, well, yeah, we'll see. But very exciting stuff. Warrior, of course, many different likenesses in games. It was good to hear Dylan's opinions on all these, being his favorite wrestler. He knew what gear was where, and that just helped move the episode along. And like, if you weren't watching on YouTube, that gave you the visual of what you were watching, and it was great. And also, if you didn't watch on YouTube, go check it out, because we show everything we talk about on the screen. Some may shock you. Some may be all-stars. Some may be legends of wrestling, and we know how that one goes.
Yeah, that's very true. And then if you think about it, you could also even, the ones that you think are the good ones, compared to everything else, you're like, oh, wow, this actually is not as good as the same gear from this other version of the Warrior.
Like the unanimous future endeavor of Super WrestleMania Warrior.
Yeah.
But anyway, we had a few announcements last week that I think we should talk about. The first one of the week was the return of Clash at the Feast, which is it used to be a YouTube show where we would come out every single week with the game we played on our episode, and we would go head to head. There would be all these rules. The one winner, which was always George, at the end of certain amount of games. It was very confusing. Eventually, we just moved to playthroughs rather than Clash at the Feast, but we figured we're going to bring it back on Patreon. It's going to be a monthly show where we go through a best of 7 series in a game. So say the first game is 2K24. The next game is chosen by the winner of 2K24. So we'll see where we start. We'll see who becomes the champion. In each episode, we will crown a champion. So it should be a lot of fun.
Very excited about that. And that's not the only show that's coming back to the Patreon. We are also bringing back OMG.
Oh my God.
Which also is that. And then it also stands for One More Game. It is our Patreon show where we play anything but a wrestling game. We've played Tony Hawk. We played Gold
Power Rangers.
or 007 Nightfire, right? We played Power Rangers. We played just games that you would not expect us to play if you've been a fan or listener of this podcast for a while. So to kind of see us out of our elements, we played Tekken and Soul Calibur, and John kicked my ass in Soul Calibur.
We got to play Bugs Bunny Crazy Castle.
Oh, I'm down.
It's a single player, but we could take turns.
Whatever, to just see how far we can get in the time limit of the show. I always liked that show. That show is kind of held like a special little place in my heart.
We played Fortnite.
That's true. We played Fortnite.
That got us back in.
And it's such a different concept and like such a different set of games from what we normally do here that,
just having fun.
Yeah. And to hear, games that you pick because of childhood memories. Like I never played 007 Nightfire, but it's a game that you played all the time. So to go in there and to play that, which is a new experience to me, and you getting to revisit one of your old favorites. So I'm very excited.
Oh, it's going to be great.
That.
The third thing we announced was a new partnership, which you're going to hear the ad roll in just a little bit. We are now working with Wrestling Collector Shop. We have a discount code, 10% off. Use code GameMarks, right? Just GameMarks?
Yep.
Code GameMarks, 10% off. Wrestling Collector Shop, man, they have everything. They even have major bendies. They have big rubber guys. They have all of the elites. Go check it out.
FC, the figure collector toys.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Crazy.
Very exciting to have that partnership. I think the biggest one that we announced, the return, kind of. A few years ago during the pandemic when we had a lot of free time, GMP64 once lived on YouTube. It was a lot of fun. We ran our own weekly shows using No Mercy, and it's coming back. But we're calling it GMP 24 because it's going to be completely done in 2K24's universe mode. So they're going to do half the work for us this time.
Yeah.
And it's going to come out weekly. We're going to work towards pay-per-views. It's going to be so much fun. George's brand versus my brand for all the titles.
Yep, we have the roster or the draft right after we record this episode. I think the video of it will be on our YouTube. You can go and check out who John and I each drafted. There are some rules, but we go over all that in the video itself. Get a little sneak peek of the setting, the arena that we'll be using for our weekly shows and all of that. It's going to be a lot of fun. It got to a point where it was just... When the world started to go back to normal, we had a lot of fun, but not enough time to do it. So now we're evolving and we're changing it. And hopefully those that did enjoy it the same way, just with a new coat of paint in WWE 2K24. But the last update, John.
It's a big one.
The Game Marks podcast, going postal. And a new show coming soon called State of Affairs, and that's really all I'm going to say about it, are now all a part of a network called Pod Exchange. It's a network's not the right word. It's a collective. It's a group.
It's a network.
It's a group of podcasts. A
group
collection.
Of podcasts working together. Yeah. That's what it is.
It's a pod family.
You all know us. You all know Going Postal. You're going to know State of Affairs, and it's going to be great. All under one Patreon roof, which means there's going to be new levels, new tiers, Discords, ad-free episodes, new shows. We just mentioned Clash at the Feast and OMG.
That's just our shows. That's just Game Marks. Going Pasta's going to have their own shows. State of Affairs is going to have their own shows. I know what the Going Pasta shows are. I'm not involved in the sense of what the content is, but I help put together the content. And it's stuff that you guys have been asking Dylan to do. And it's things that we kind of put our heads together and went, people like when these things happen in the podcast. We're just going to make a show of that. Short, sweet, digestible content, but you guys have control over the shows. There's influence that you guys can make to the shows. You can affect what Dylan does in the show. It's going to be great.
Oh, God.
We'll talk about it on Going Postal. You'll hear all about it. And then...
and you sign up for one... You get them all. 3. That's going to be the best part. So there's going to be tiers to it. It's going to be fun. We're going to kind of, like you said before, fresh coat of paint on everything. That's why we're here. We're here to have fun with our friends, and that's what we're going to do. speaking of having fun with our friends, we've been playing 2K24. I've been having fun. I know you've been having fun. I have some pointers here I want to make, but first I want to talk about the creative suite. I know you've created some people. Yep. So far, I've uploaded myself, which sounds really bad when you say it out loud. So Johnny Clash is available under the creative suite. Look up JClash21, the hashtag, or Johnny Clash, and you could find me. I made Sal Vulcano from the Impractical Jokers. There's just something off with the face. Maybe if I change up the face scan, I don't know.
Could be that.
Mine
you gotta fix your cover photo, whatever.
I know they always come out huge.
I say it's not even that. Like I feel like proportion wise, it's okay, but you're so like
it's I think square it's still, but
you're so much taller than everyone.
It's confusing because I'm using the size they give, but I guess it just. I don't know. I got to figure out the right size. Sal Vulcano, I didn't upload him. I got to work on the face. Clashed Arena is there. Speaking of GMP24, the GMP24 Arena will be there soon too. Let us do our final tweaks and we'll upload that. But look up my name, JClash21. It's all under Xbox, and you can get it anywhere. You can get all my stuff.
I think we're going to make I have plans. I want to make obviously I want to make an AIF arena as well, and then I kind of want to make an old school GMP 64 arena, like kind of do it, like make it off of the old school No Mercy.
Wait, did you know that if you do that, you can make the whole arena 8-bit, like the whole presentation?
I saw that. Yeah,
it's probably very annoying, but you can do it.
Yeah, I think that's with the shows. You could do it with the you can make the shows be 8-bit.
That would go well, but you could do it.
These beautiful graphics, like it's one thing if you're playing and you're going to make them like keep it in line. But these are beautiful graphics. I don't want to dumb them down.
Did you play Special Referee yet at all?
I have not yet.
It is complete chaos. So I wanted to try it out. I picked Chelsea Green, friend of the show. And first of all, she comes out in like jeans and a long, like baggy ref shirt.
Okay.
Which I think it's just the same for everyone. It just didn't look right. It was just like,
it's not like scaled to her model.
No, like it looked like Raw or Raw 2 where everything was just like way too big.
Yeah.
Like everyone was in 2002 and Evolution was wearing those giant suits that looked like they were Doug Funny in that big video. It's very confusing to get a hold of the counts because you have to initiate the count, then you have to do the count. I noticed there's a stutter there, even with a regular ref, before the 1 count. They go down to the mat, lift their arm. Kind of takes forever for a pin to happen, which kind of sucks for tag matches. But you have that too as a ref. Now you also have a meter as a ref that if it goes up, that means you're a good ref. If it goes down, that means you're a bad ref. So if you miss a count, you miss a rope break, you do a wrong rope break, it goes down and they send another ref out to replace you.
Oh.
So when that happens, now you become a manager and you could still run amok. But after like 2 or 3 times as a manager doing something, getting the ring, you just get ejected.
Yeah. I had a feeling that's what you were going to say.
I don't know if you could play around, turn some of that stuff off, but I just wanted to beat people up as a ref.
I want No Mercy special.
Yeah. Yeah. But hey, still, I'm glad it's there. First year, it's been back in a while, so hopefully they'll just tweak it a bunch, and yeah, we'll go from there.
Sounds good. I'm excited. We're going to be playing a couple of those.
Absolutely. Now, we got a surprise drop last week from RetroMania Wrestling saying we're going retro again because 5 new legends are coming to RetroMania Wrestling. Don't miss the reveal on April 5th. Now, if you're listening to this, that is only Friday. So be ready for the reveal. Now, they posted the lists in alphabetical order with the shadows of who the wrestlers are. Some people have their theories based on the story mode. You kind of see some posters in the background. So you could assume who they are. We're not going to speculate anything here. The reveal will happen soon enough. We'll cover it next week. But we thought they were done. And just when we think they're done, they're adding even more legends. That's a lot of people in this game that you don't think about. So
yeah, that's it. I'm excited that I think
they didn't abandon ship.
Yeah, and I think seeing the response to the last patch, like maybe they had this in their back pocket the whole time, and I'm talking out of my ass. But I would like to think that because the response was so good, they were just like, we know that people still like this game and still want to play it. We got to keep pushing stuff out. I'm very excited. We talked about it when they announced it. We have a very unique and special relationship with this game. This is this is the game that we covered the most like from its inception to its release. Like we were there from the beginning stage all the way through. No actual involvement, but you know, it feels like we were invested in the game because of how much coverage we did on it.
Just our relationship, like you said, with them, Mike Herman, just Ian Riccaboni. It's been great. Yeah, covered
the game's initial release. We played with Matt and Brian when they were in the game. We played it live with them. It's so cool. It's so cool. Very, very excited to see what the future has for this game.
Glad it's going to keep going. But all right, we're here to play one of the most unique and interesting games we've ever covered on this podcast. But hey, we're on a mission to play every wrestling game possible and give them our rating. This is one of them. We got to do it eventually, so why not do it now? Let's get into the deep dive of Jelly Wrestle.
I'm feeling loose like jelly.
Looking to add the newest wrestling figures to your lineup? There's no better spot to pick up your next figure than the Wrestling Collector Shop.
Started by collectors for collectors around the globe, Wrestling Collector Shop has been serving the fans the latest and greatest in wrestling action figures since 2002. So the next time you're looking for the newest wrestling collectible to add to your collection, make sure to go to WrestlingCollectorShop.com and use code GameMarks to save yourself 10% on your order.
That's 10% off your order with code GameMarks at WrestlingCollectorShop.com.
All right, the deep dive is brought to you by Wrestling Collector Shop. Again, like you just heard, make sure to use code GameMarks to save yourself 10% over at WrestlingCollectorShop.com. Let's get into it, guys. Jelly Wrestle, released July 20th, 2018. It is available on Steam. It is developed and published by Fury Games Production. Other wrestling games in 2018, you've got Fire Pro Wrestling World and WWE 2K19. Now, this is going to be an interesting playthrough episode here. We're going to do it simultaneously. So John's going to take us through the gameplay while we break down the game. This is where, if you're watching on YouTube, or you have the ability to watch on YouTube, that we would recommend that you go to youtube.com/GameMarksPodcast and check it out that way.
We'll try to be as descriptive as possible.
Yes, John's going to be taking us through the gameplay, but before we get into that, let's talk a little bit about the game. This is the description from the Steam page. Open the world filled with amazing jelly heroes who are ready to fight till the last breath. Jelly Wrestle is the game for all who love to take part in unbelievable battles, learn something really new, and have fun at the same time.
Have you ever had a jelly hero? I've done jelly, cream cheese, and bacon on a bagel.
I feel like jelly and cream cheese is an underrated.
Delicious, but then you add bacon in it, and like the bacon fat coagulates with the jelly and makes like a candied.
That I've never had.
If you're feeling fat, this is like a once a year thing. You can't eat it all the time.
No, I have to add that to the list. It's my cheat meal for the year.
I might get that tomorrow. Yeah.
All right. So your options when you first load in, you see story, arcade, and survival. John, let's jump into an arcade battle. Take us through.
I'm kind of scared here. All right. Arcade. All right. Do we want to go through the roster now?
Yeah. Take us through the roster. So again, if you're watching on YouTube, youtube.com/GameMarksPod, you can see exactly what we are seeing, get a look at all of the characters right now. The first character that we're seeing is Chicken.
Who is a chicken with a very, how would you describe that outfit?
Demolition.
Yeah, okay, we'll go with Demolition.
It's very demolition-y.
Then there's Blue Dino, who is, guess what?
A blue dinosaur.
Blue Dino. Now, you have to unlock these. You see that underneath there's your money, your currency here, but up top I have $0. So I could only be Chicken.
Okay.
So then there is Kitty Man,
which is a cat with a mohawk.
Business Cat.
Business Cat, which is a cat with a mohawk, but this time it's in a purple business suit.
Piglet Thorn.
Okay, it's a pig with horns and a lucha libre mask.
If that's what you want to call it. Banana Bro.
There's no other way to describe it than it is a character wearing a banana head.
Banana waiter, which is a banana in a tuxedo.
Yep. Okay.
Latex chick, which guess what? Chicken wearing what? The rest of that demolition outfit.
Yep.
Clown ball.
Which is the same kind of character, generic character model, but this time got a sewn together clown horror mask with a big red nose.
All right, who's this one, George?
This is Lightning Cat.
No.
This is Lightning Pussy, and it is a electric luchador cat, is what it appears to be.
All right, now read this one.
Yes, this is the rival to Lightning Pussy. This is Purple Cock. This is a winter-themed purple chicken.
Or rooster, a
or rooster, yep.
And then Junk Dog, who is...
And then Junk Dog.
A dog. It looks like Lilo and Stitch, kind of, but as a dog.
It does. That actually is surprisingly accurate.
So I have to be chicken here. So
all right, so take us through Demolition Chicken.
So this is where I got stuck earlier, and it wouldn't let me proceed. But there we go. I'm against Lightning Pussy here.
There you go.
Loading.
And we are in.
I'm going to move my mouse. I don't know if that's... Okay. What is happening?
Okay, so it... Oh, you just got...
They're not giving me a chance to figure out the buttons or anything. But I will say this. Very slow.
Okay.
I KO'd him.
All right, try to do a down forward attack button. See if you do.
You are giving this way too much credit.
All right, well, he just threw a fireball, so I thought that maybe you could also throw like that. So that makes me think that you also have something like that.
It's hard to even move forward. It's a lot of dash moves you have to do.
Okay.
Rather than move forward and back, it's like a dash.
Interesting.
See,
now
you just dashed at me.
This is it's a very colorful game. I will say that. So
Made in Unity, as it says in the intro. Oh, I KO'd him again. It's
very not necessarily ragdoll physics, but it is.
So that was it. Your options are restart,
shop, or main menu.
So I don't think I could do. Oh, look. Okay, you could.
Oh, you can buy to increase your stats. Okay.
Should we try to
try arcade? See what or try story. See what story's like.
So story apparently. It's a different story for every single character on here.
Oh, that's cool.
I have to be.
We like that.
Just found out.
All right, Demolition Chicken versus Banana Waiter.
So I'm starting to think this was a school project or something.
It could be.
Because things are not centered. Now I know to post something on Steam, it's at least $100. So unless you're getting that money back, is it worth it?
I do believe there are certain things in place for educational.
Okay.
If there are student projects and stuff like that, I do believe that there is some kind of incentive or discount. Something like that. I remember reading that.
Frame.io. Now the same with arenas, you have to unlock them.
Okay. All right. I mean, John's doing some damage here.
It's not hard to do some damage.
It's
very hard to move, though. It's very clunky.
What's harder to move in this or Drunken Wrestler?
This.
Okay.
You see how you shuffle?
Yeah. It's a lot of, like John said, you can kind of do a roll, right? If you double tap forward or whatever the movement is, that you kind of do a forward roll or a lunge or a dash. There's no next.
No.
You just have to go back in.
You just go back in.
Okay.
Now we're against Piglet Thorn, and new little arena. Looks like a gym.
All right, little gym locker room area. Some weights. I mean, good lighting from the
like that little dash I did.
Oh wow, making
Piglet
quick work.
Kind of weak.
I mean, graphically, it is interesting. It is.
I don't know how to describe it.
It's very cartoonish. I think it is.
There's nothing it even reminds me of. Usually, like, it reminds me of.
No. So there's a game called. I think it's called Gang Beasts. Or there's another game that came out recently that's called Party Animals. And then there's Human Fall Flat. It kind of is reminiscent of them. Like, character-wise. They almost look like the characters from Fall Guys.
Yeah, I could see that. We're doing survival now. I assume it's just... What was that Wednesday night stream game with the Blood Feud? That's what this reminds me of. It says Soup's in the chat.
Blood Feud. Was it the...
Super Blood Hockey?
No, was it the retirement home game?
Oh, God. Do you see all these people playing Super
Simulator
lately?
Blood Feud was, it's the Mario Party game.
We played that once.
Pummel Party, it's called. Pummel Party. That's actually a very good comparison to this. It does feel very Pummel Party-esque.
And the reason we're doing like a playthrough during this here is because there's not much to research on it. There's no did you know when Jelly Wrestle.
Wow. Survival Monster. Achievement on Steam. 2 of 100.
I'm just trying to get some money to unlock one person.
Now we're in a match against Business Cat. He's getting...
I just lost.
Wow. Getting Kamehameha'd in...
R.I.P. So, yeah. There's really nothing else for me to do here.
So if you do arcade, you still don't have enough to unlock anybody? Oh, no, you have 135 now. Isn't that enough to...
150. So let's do one more.
Okay.
And hopefully that's it. And it's 1,500 to get...
Oh, to get new
the recording
arenas.
studio, which looks a little creepy, a little sus. And the backstage room. Did you see the new Marvel game, Marvel Rivals?
I haven't seen the trailer. I saw a screenshot of it. I haven't had a chance to watch the whole trailer yet.
So pretty much it's Overwatch with Marvel characters. 6-on-6 with all the characters. All the fanboys were pissed that Galactus is a girl and it not realizing it was actually Galacta, his daughter.
I am confused.
It's just 6-on-6 free-to-play shooter.
Yeah, I'm concerned because
I don't think I have interest unless they add like a battle royal.
See, this is my problem. I loved Overwatch 1, and then Overwatch 2 happened, and now I don't like Overwatch. But Overwatch 1 was great, so if they follow that mechanic, I'm all for it. It's just...
Couldn't tell you.
I feel like
we got enough.
All right, so who are you going to buy?
We can get... Oh, we can't get Blue Dino. Oh, I just chose a fight. Wait, I just bought someone.
You just bought Blue Dino. There you go.
This is LG. Last game.
All right, here we go. Blue Dino versus Kitty Man. New character here, kind of looking like Mr. Meeseeks in a tank top.
He does.
going up against... That's actually a really good representation of what the body style here. Everyone kind of looks like Mr. Meeseeks with different colors, and then they have different accessories.
Is a wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man.
That also is very, very accurate. And second round here, Blue Dino versus Kitty Man. Ooh,
wrecked with a fireball or something.
Yeah, see, everyone has that ability. You got to figure out how to do that.
I'm trying to see right now if the movement's better on my keyboard, which it is not.
Okay.
So that's just how the movement is.
Did you lose?
Yeah, I lost. Best of 3, though. Don't worry. This is it. Final fight. Uppercut. Kick.
All right.
Jelly roll. Oh, we didn't paint our faces like Jelly Roll. That was a prerequisite.
Oh, that's what you were supposed to do. I forgot about that.
I keep getting that Uber Eats commercial with him where he's like, it doesn't come off. All right. Well, that's Jelly Wrestle.
All right.
I'm gonna go ahead and stop sharing my screen there so I can exit out of that.
But let's talk about the graphics, the art style, the overall presentation of the game, because I feel like that actually is where there is a lot to talk about, because it is a very colorful game, if nothing else.
That's about it. It's colorful but dull in certain spots. I thought the logo and everything was cool. I thought it could be something decent, but when you play it, it's just that clunk. It's just slow. Like, yeah, the graphics are nice. It's not bad to look at. There's also just not a lot going on the screen. It's a very still background. It's a very still game, other than the 3 seconds you're fighting. It could just use a little more. If it's going to be... I get a lot of these games aren't basically full-blown wrestling games. Give me a Titantron. Give me an arena with little jellies in the crowd.
Yeah, okay. So I just opened up the Steam page for Fury Game Productions. They have several other games that they have made, all of them released in 2018, it seems. You have Train Simulator, London Subway, School Idol, Pro Gamer, Tycoon, Police Air Transporter, Fan of Destiny, Jelly Wrestle, In the Countryside, Garage Master 2018, Harpoon Cat, Bitcoin Mining Tycoon, Drillmania, Parkour Man, and Caves of Plague.
So I looked this up also, and not a lot of good ratings on any of those games.
Okay.
Also makes me take back my statement about it possibly being a school project.
Okay.
There are a lot of games here. But, oh, man. This is a rough one.
Yeah.
One thing that confused the hell out of me, the health bar. Did you notice it goes the opposite way?
Yes.
When it depletes, that means you have health, but when it expands, you don't have health.
That I was very confused watching it, and I was just like, maybe John is just used to this now, and we're not going to talk about it.
No, that's just something.
There's the way that the lighting is. It's not realistic lighting, but the lighting itself looks... It could be a lot worse. The environments and the world building, to use that term lightly, of where you're having the fights could be a lot worse. I don't think that it's spectacular, but we have definitely seen and played worse on this podcast.
Yeah. Now, I would say roll that music for the ratings and reviews, but I think by the time it actually starts playing, they'll be done because there's only two.
Before we get into that, would you like to hear what the Steam page lists as the features of the game?
Sure.
So, the features include true fighting in the fairy jelly world atmosphere, 12 unique characters with their own story, which we talked about, upgradable characteristics and strikes, 3 interesting game modes, including a real storyline, 3 fantastic locations, chance to feel like a real master of martial arts, and become a real guru of jelly combat training in Jelly Wrestle.
That's what I'm going to call you from now on. The guru of jelly combat training.
That's... You called me meaner.
Now, the one review that's on here is a thumbs up. It says they have 0.3 hours on record. I think we might have just beat them there. But we got 46 minutes. Nice. Just a nice little game to relax on and take your time away. Funny farting sound too when you hit each other, lol. Wound like to see a button layout combo. And then a YouTube video. This is by Hobo Bill. Hobo Bill also reviews video games on YouTube. This was done in 2018. And this was a game he reviewed, so...
All right.
Not sure.
That's the one
This might
review.
Be the quickest deep dive in history.
Well, this is the thing. It's not every game is going to be an insanely long episode with tons of content and a roster that's like 300 people. The concept of the podcast is to just play the wrestling games, and that's what we're doing. Sometimes they're going to be, 2-hour breakdowns with massive rosters, and, we had a 40-minute match. Sometimes it'll be we played the game for 45 minutes collectively, and we have done everything that there is to do and seen everything that there is to do 3 times over. Sometimes we'll be in the middle. This is one of the games where, unfortunately, it's a little bit of a shorter episode.
Yeah, and I wish there was more to talk about with the game, but there's really not. Even the story is just kind of, I don't know. You just go and fight and the occasional text bubble, but really, this is it. This is the game. This is the whole package. But I guess we could go into, it's time to rate the game.
The game!
Do we bother saying 3, 2, 1? Now, I'm not gonna refund this game because I feel bad. It was $2, $3. I'm gonna let them have that $3. I'm not gonna refund it. We did put a whole episode into it. It just wouldn't be fair.
Yeah, I think that's...
But it's a big future endeavor.
I'm not even going to wait for you to throw it. I'm right there with you. Yeah, it's... It's a cool little time killer, but I think the price is right for where it's at. And yeah.
Yeah. I would say go out of your way, make your own assessment, but you just go watch Hobo Bill's video or watch our playthrough. It's just, this one was a rough one.
It is what it is, and that's the name of the. Oh, man, I can't believe I was about to say that. It's the name of the game, but
it's the name of the game. But I'm glad we get these games out there because we have to play them. We played it. You guys suffered with us, and that's it.
Just because it's not our game doesn't mean that it's not someone else's game. Someone else could pick this game up, never have heard of it until they listen to this podcast, and now they're going to go out and listen. I think
that's going to happen.
You never know, though. I'm going to remain cautiously optimistic that maybe it will.
Oh, man.
But with that, John, are you ready to get into this week's Softlock?
Sure.
All right, the Softlock.
Wait. We got another comment here on Jelly Wrestle in the community page on Steam from Darth Chocula. Game looks like jack off in 2 socks that fight after ... Made it to Steam. What next? Talking and then whatever that is blurred out. So anyway, the Softlock, speaking of.
I think I could have gone the rest of the episode without you having read that, but you did it.
It's a will game.
but we're here. The Softlock is a segment on the podcast where one of our mega marks from our Patreon gives us a topic to debate, a question to answer. It's a question in the name with a fancy name. This week comes to us from our good friend Spork, our best bitch from the best match. And Spork's question is, if you had to make a wrestling-based horror game, what would be the plot? Who would be in it? And what would the gameplay be like?
I feel like Bray Wyatt is like the layup here, right?
Oh, yeah. That's, or you have it be where it's Dead by Daylight and it's all of the scary horror-esque wrestlers. You do Taker, Fiend, Papa Shango. Who else? You do like original, like Boiler Room Mankind.
I would love what was that game? Slenderman?
Yep.
But with like the Undertaker or something.
Yeah.
Like just you're going through the woods and the Undertaker's just stalking you. He just pops up out of nowhere. Or even Give me the Wyatt compound.
Okay.
But again, you have to like escape like Friday the 13th. You have to escape. But you can go through like the woods. You can go through, maybe make your way through like Final Deletion and stuff. But Bray Wyatt's after you. Uncle Howdy pops up. Like it's like a what's it called? A haunted house where like every so far you go, someone else pops up.
I like that.
Danhausen curses you and.
Okay, so I like that idea a lot. I also like the Dead by Daylight thing, which is kind of in the same vein of that, where it's like you have to accomplish goals to open up the gate to escape. You could do like what else? Oh, you could also do there's a game that was like Among Us, but it was first person. I can't remember the name of it. But it's like that, where like it's a bunch of people and maybe someone's possessed by the Undertaker or something, or has the Papa Shango curse or something, and you got to figure out who that is and what they're doing to sabotage.
Give me like Outlast, Insane Asylum, but it's Mankind, but like maybe one room is like hippie, but like a dark hippie, like maybe blood on the walls. And
okay,
love is there. And then like the Cactus Jack, maybe like thumbtacks and nails sticking out.
I feel like there's more options than I would have originally thought, in the sense of like there are a lot of horror or scary themed wrestler gimmicks that allow themselves to like,
maybe they like lock you in a room and you have to watch like Brian Cage matches.
What if it was Resident Evil? Like you are a producer or an assistant or something in WWE, and then all of a sudden there's like a Last of Us outbreak, and now all the wrestlers are zombies and stuff.
That would be cool. Yeah, something like that.
Because then you could tie it back into the zombie figures too.
I like those zombie figures.
Oh yeah, those are cool.
The Stone Cold, I think it was, or Sasha Banks, one of those sat on my shelf in Five Below over here for a while.
I think those were underrated. I think those were.
The Stone Cold one was a skull head, which is cool, but like not worth the money.
No, I don't think they were a full price figure by any means, but they were like a cool little display piece.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. We'll go with that.
All right.
I think you could also, they make you like watch WWE CW matches or something.
Oh God.
Yeah.
All right. Well, as always, the Soft Block is brought to you by our friends at Dubby. Make sure to use code GameMarksPod to save yourself 10% on your order at Dubby.gg. Get yourself some jitterless energy that tastes great. And as always, if you have your own answer of what kind of wrestling-based horror game you would make, or you have an idea to build off what John and I already talked about, you can let us know on all forms of social media at GameMarksPod. Johnny Clash, what are we playing next week?
Next week, I had to look this one up, make sure we were able to play it, and we are.
Okay.
We're going back to M. Dickey.
I think his catalog is the only catalog that rivals the Fire Pro games.
In his mind, we are playing Wrestling Encore.
All right.
One of his earlier ones.
All right. He does have a expansive catalog of games.
Yeah. This is it looks like the games he's still putting out. He hasn't really veered off much there, but
it's his style. He's got his signature style.
Yeah, should be fun to play. Should be fun to go back and do this one.
All right, cool. Excited to dive back into the world of M. Dickey Games. And as always, guys, you can go to youtube.com/GameMarksPodcast for our weekly playthrough videos and a whole lot more. GameMarksPod.com/shop for all of our exclusive merchandise. ProWrestlingTees.com/GameMarksPod for our shirts. Patreon.com/GameMarksPod for this show, early and ad-free access to show notes. You could be a part of the live recordings and the things that we talked about in the beginning of this episode at GameMarksPod on all forms of social media. And please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell. And please leave us a rating and a review on Apple Podcast or Spotify or wherever you choose to listen to your podcast. And if you have a product or service that you would like to advertise on this podcast, please reach out to us at gamemarkspod@gmail.com. Johnny Clash, whenever you're ready, do that thing.
Game over. Marks, let's get jelly with it.
Game Marks Podcast, put them on the radar. Playing rare games, Sega Saturn, no game shard. Johnny and George work hard and they play hard. Future endeavor games and put them in the graveyard. From the deep dive to the clash at the feast. How can I get more? That's question of the week. Follow on Twitch, there's nothing that they won't play. Game Marks Podcast every single Monday.
Guys, if you want your beard to be soft and smell great, then you need Mad Cat Beard Care. Their products are all natural and made to order with vitamins and natural oils to moisturize your skin and to help make your beard healthy and strong.
Our exclusive scent, Play It Forever, is a blood orange, black clove, and vanilla scented beard balm or beard oil that can make your beard have a rich but not overpowering scent. Plus, a portion from their sales go towards finding care for stray cats, covering their medical bills and finding them safe places and forever homes.
Use code GameMarks to save yourself 15% when you place an order over at madcatbeardcare.com. That's 15% off with code GameMarks. And remember, the Mad Cat makes a happy beard.